In the first part of this series, we examine Jesus' attitude towards sin. We continue on this topic of the severity of sin by examining its very definition and sin's impact on our relationship with God. In the first part of this series, we looked at the story of Tom, who, after seeing a picture of a diseased liver and the urging of his doctor, decided to stop drinking alcohol. The rest of his story can give us a very important lesson on the severity of sin in terms of our relationship with God. The next day, after deciding to stop drinking, Tom, as he was sitting with his family at the dinner table, told his family that he would stop drinking. He said it as a passing comment. To his surprise, his wife began to cry and his sons cheered, as if their favorite football team won the championship. Tom was shocked, not simply by their reaction, but the reality that was behind it. Up until that point in his life, Tom thought his drinking had no effect on his family life. The harsh reality set in. By his excessive drinking, he hurt his relationship with his wife and children severely. Through his emotional neglect, he realized that he did not love them as much as a father should. He sobbed in his room as he convicted himself with the words, "I chose beer over them." That night, his resolution to stop drinking became stronger, and he vowed not to touch alcohol again. More importantly, he resolved to be more attentive to the needs of his family and spend more time with them. Well, as days and months passed, he struggled, and the times he turned down the opportunity to drink, either privately or with friends, his love for his family gave him the strength to say no. The times that he did fail, his love for his wife and children gave him the motivation to try again and not give up. Throughout a year of struggling, including trying different things like going to 12-step meetings, going to church more, reading self-help books, and a one-time catastrophic foray with acupuncture — he was terrified of needles — Tom discovered that his love for his family became stronger, and as the love increased, the desire to drink decreased, to the point in which, eventually, he completely stopped drinking. Tom's story is similar to the reality of sin. At its core, sin is choosing something, someone, or some activity over God. Sin is the reality that our love for something is stronger than our love for God. When Tom faced the reality that his love for his family was not as strong as it should be, he was able to deal with his drinking problem. We have to face the reality that sin hurts our relationship with God. It is the evidence that we do not love God as much as we should. Facing this reality, we can put everything into perspective. Recognizing sin for what it is the first step in ridding ourselves of it. Ignoring sin will not make it go away or change its negative effects on our life here on earth or in the eternity to come, just like denying a drinking problem will not make the heavy drinker's liver stay healthy. In acknowledging our sinfulness, our failure to love God as much as we should, what should we do from there? First of all, be reconciled with God by receiving His forgiveness. From there, find out what is lacking in our relationship with Him. Maybe it is a failure to pray as much as we should. Maybe getting to know Him better through regular reading of the Scriptures or other religious books is necessary. Perhaps it is from a neglect to do charitable works. Possibly it is a need to get back into the practice of our faith by going to church more. Whatever the cause, we need to make sure our love for God is expressed in the way we follow His will by doing what is good and avoiding what is evil. And if we fail to do what is right or fall into temptation, our love for God still needs to be demonstrated through our sincere persistence in trying to do better and never giving up. We make statements by what we write and what we say. But most of all, we give a statement by the choices we make, by the way we live. This life that we have here on earth is an opportunity for us to make a statement to God, how much we love Him, what He means to our lives. Our lives here are limited, and we don't know when the time will come for us to be called to the next. While we are here, we are given the opportunity to tell God how much we appreciate the gift of life and the gift of redemption through His Son, Jesus Christ, by growing in our relationship with Him, following His will, and overcoming sin with His grace. Our lives are like a letter that we write to God, telling Him how we would like to spend our eternity, either with Him or without Him. May we never take this opportunity for granted, because eternity is at stake. Father in heaven, You give us life as an opportunity to show our love for You and deepen our relationship with You in this present life. Inflame our desire for holiness, that through Your grace we may live lives that make the statement, I loved the Lord my God with all my being, and with all my strength, and with all my mind. Amen.